Hello and welcome to this Friday's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and since I was off the air last week, we have a lot to catch up on a lot of different sports. Starting with our two sports that are in their final weeks, the NBA Finals have arrived. Last time we spoke, the Timberwolves and Spurs had just finished Game 5, with a 3-2 series lead for the Spurs heading into Game 6. Stephon Castle had 32 points and 11 rebounds, and Victor Wembanyama and San Antonio romped past the Timberwolves 139-109 and into the Western Conference Finals. There, they faced their toughest task yet, the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder. This series was must-watch TV throughout. They traded wins back and forth and eventually forced the two best words in sports, Game 7. In that winner-take-all Game 7, Victor Wembanyama scored 22 points, Julian Champagnie got 18 of his 20 points off of three-pointers, and the Spurs beat the Thunder 111-103 on Saturday night, dethroning the reigning champs and earning a spot in the NBA Finals. The Spurs last were in the finals in the 2013 season, where they defeated LeBron James and the Miami Heat for a title. Now, they will face what I believe is the scariest team in the NBA right now, the Eastern Conference champion New York Knicks. When this show last aired, the Knicks had just swept the Philadelphia 76ers to move on to the conference finals. In their way of their first NBA Finals appearance since 1998 stood the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks kept their winning streak alive, immediately taking a 3-0 series lead over the Cavs. In Game 4, Karl Anthony Towns had 19 points and 14 rebounds, OG Anunoby scored 17, and the Knicks dominated Cleveland 130-93 to complete a 4-game sweep of the Eastern Conference Finals and advance to the NBA Finals. Like I said, this is their first finals appearance since the 1998 season, where they lost to the San Antonio Spurs, meaning we get to witness a rematch. The championship finale tipped off on Wednesday night, and it started out with a bang. Jalen Brunson scored 30 points, Karl Anthony Towns finished with 18 points and 12 rebounds, and the Knicks erased a 14-point second-half deficit to beat the Spurs 105-95 in Game 1 of the Finals. The Knicks have now won 12 straight playoff games. Game 2 will be tonight at 5:30, Game 3 will be Monday at 5:30, and Game 4 will be next Wednesday, also at 5:30. While I find it unlikely, if we get another series sweep, we could have a champion crowned by this time next week. Moving over to the ice, the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs have been electric to this point. 2 weeks ago, the hometown Anaheim Ducks were eliminated by the Vegas Golden Knights, who punched their ticket to the Western Conference Finals. In their way of a shot at a title stood the powerhouse Colorado Avalanche. The Avs were the favorite virtually all season to win a cup, but what happened in this series shocked the world. The Knights dominated the Avalanche through the first 3 games, taking a 3-0 lead. Then, in Game 4, they kept on rolling. The Vegas defense suffocated Colorado, plus goals from Mark Stone and Cole Smith led the Knights to a 2-1 Game 4 win, completing the stunning series sweep of the Avs and earning their spot in the finals for the 3rd time in just the last 9 seasons since the franchise was formed. Representing the Eastern Conference is the Carolina Hurricanes. After the Montreal Canadiens upset the Buffalo Sabres, they moved on to face the Hurricanes. While Montreal put up a good fight at first, Carolina was just too dominant. Taylor Hall, Logan Stankoven, and Eric Robinson scored in a dominating first period in Game 5 that helped push the Hurricanes past the Canadiens 6-1, closing a series that sent the East's top seed to face Vegas for the Cup. It took 8 years, but the Hurricanes have finally broken through their Eastern Conference final roadblock. Now comes the chance to play for the Stanley Cup for the first time in 2 decades. The Stanley Cup final got underway on Tuesday night, and the series also started out with a bang. Just 25 seconds into Game 1, Nikolaj Ehlers got Carolina on the board in the first shot of the game, immediately taking a 1-0 lead. It was apparent this game would feature a lot of scoring. At the end of the first period, Carolina was up 2-1. At the second intermission, the game was tied at 3-3. Finally, Thomas Hertl took a backhand pass from Colton Sissons and beat Frederik Andersen from the slot with 3:24 left in the 3rd period, lifting the Golden Knights past the Hurricanes 5-4 in the opener of the Stanley Cup final. Game 2 was last night, and the Hurricanes earned a win at home, tying the series at 1 win apiece in their hunt for their first cup since 2006. Game 3 will be tomorrow night on ABC. Just like the NBA, it's possible we will have a champion crowned by next week, so don't miss out on any of the action. It's been a few weeks since we've talked about the NFL, and some major news broke this week. First, in a move that was expected, the New England Patriots officially traded for Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown. In exchange, the Eagles received a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. This is a massive addition for last year's Super Bowl runner-up Patriots. Since entering the league as a second-round selection by the Tennessee Titans back in 2019, Brown is 4th in the NFL in both receiving yards with 8,029 and touchdown catches with 56. Brown and Cincinnati's Jamar Chase are the NFL's only two players with at least 1,000 yards receiving and 7+ touchdown catches in each of the past 4 seasons. Brown left his mark on Philadelphia, where he has the 2 highest single-season receiving yard totals in franchise history, 1,496 yards in 2022 and 1,456 yards in 23. Brown helped lead the Eagles to a dominant Super Bowl win over the Chiefs in 2025. But since then, the star wideout's relationship with the coaches, teammates, and the organization has visibly crumbled. So it was only a matter of time before he departed Philly, and he now reunites with his former Titans head coach, Mike Vrabel. While this trade was an important one, it was overshadowed by one of the most shocking trades in NFL history. News broke on Tuesday that shook up the entire league. The Cleveland Browns traded 2-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett to the Los Angeles Rams for 2-time Pro Bowl pass rusher Jared Verse and multiple draft picks. The Browns received a first-round draft pick in 2027, a second-round pick in 2028, and a third-rounder in 2029. Garrett is coming off of a season in which he set the NFL's all-time single-season sack record and is regarded as the best defensive player in football. But the Browns didn't walk away empty-handed. They received Jared Verse, who has made a Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 seasons. He's had 12 sacks and 22 tackles for loss since being drafted and has a bright future ahead of him. A young talent plus a lot of draft stock means the Browns should still be happy with the trade. But the Rams were already Super Bowl favorites going into this year, and the addition of one of the best pass rushers in history just boosts their chances even more. Moving over to the other football, the Champions League title match took place last Saturday, and it was one of the most wild matches in history. Paris Saint-Germain became just the second team to win back-to-back Champions League titles after rallying to beat Arsenal following a penalty shootout in Budapest, Hungary. It was the first final to go to a penalty shootout since Madrid beat neighbors Atletico Madrid 10 years ago. With PSG up 4-3, Arsenal defender Gabriel Magalhaes lined up for the final kick to tie the score. His shot sailed high over the crossbar, and PSG had won. PSG joins Real Madrid, which won 3 successive titles between 2016 and 2018, as the only team to successfully defend the Champions League since the competition was rebranded in 1992. Overall, PSG is the 10th team in European Cup history, dating back to 1955, to win consecutive titles. It was an amazing end to the Champions League and a great way to get the world ready for the World Cup. With all that said, enjoy the NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Finals, regular season baseball, tennis, golf, and so much more that this weekend has to offer. Be sure to come right back next Friday for more news, updates, and highlights from all across the sports world. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.